What's your honest reaction to Trump's mugshot?
I think it's really a good thing for the black community because when you look at it, the Democrats really kind of forced the crime community on black people, bringing rappers to the White House, etc. And every time a mugshot come out of those said rappers, their album goes crazy. Now that Trump is no longer a stranger to the culture, he's a part of it, it's going to backfire. It's the worst thing they could have ever done and the best thing that we could have ever gotten. Trump 2024.
Can I ask you a quick question? Yeah. So you are obviously a person of color like we are.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to not be Trump supporters. So what is it about Trump
You
that...
know what, I'm going to tell you something right now. I was talking to my husband about it earlier, and when I really started educating myself and informing myself on Donald Trump, one thing that I'm passionate about is human trafficking, that especially of children. And when I really started digging into it, I saw that Trump also is a huge supporter. He donated recently $35 million to support human trafficked survivors. Yep. That really struck a chord with my heart. And so when I started really looking into him, I'm about action, I'm not about words. Okay?
Yes,
I like the fact that he says what's on his mind. I like the fact that he doesn't say what he thinks people want to hear from him. And to me, I know everything that he's done for the black communities, and I stand behind him.
Beautiful.
100%. I'm not only a Trump supporter, I am a Trump lover. And for the longest time, I've been afraid to come out and say that.
Well, here we go.
Because I didn't want to lose my blackness or my black friends or whatever. But
remember what Joe Biden said, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black.
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
What an idiot.
All right, guys, so apparently black people are voting for Trump, okay? Black people are shifting towards Trump in droves, at least according to social media and Fox News. Now, on social media, you're seeing a lot of people, a lot of black people come out in droves and talk about how much they are now supporting Trump and that the hood has Trump's back, okay? The hood has Trump back. Trump 2024 in the hood.
I don't mean no harm, and I don't give a damn who this offends. But if that nigga Trump get convicted of this crime and he can still run for president, I'm voting for his ass. I'm voting for that. I'm voting for him. If that gets convicted and he can still run for president, just to see what the he do, cause that funny now. Trump is funny as hell. I'm voting for him. I'm telling you right now, okay? So just miss me with it. Make America great again.
When are you guys gonna learn? The more you indict, the more we unite. Facts. It's Trump 2024. We don't care. You heard me? We already made our mind up. You already know when the hood got your back. Man, they deep in the hood, gangsters, hollering about Trump 2024. You heard me? Whoop, whoop, wah. Gangsters. The hood got this man back. I'm just trying to tell you. You heard me? And we ain't stupid, man, American people, man. We ain't all them talking about lockdowns and back when the masks and all that. You know, they got a new virus coming and it's gonna be, man, nobody don't care. Ain't fooling nobody no more with none of that. You know, new jack, man, nobody being fooled no more. We all the way up, you heard me? It's Trump 2024. That's what it's gonna be, cause we ain't having nothing else.
Yeah, so that's word on the street, right? Word on the street. Word in the hood is that Trump now got a N-word pass, right? He got an N-word pass, right? Trump is that, you know what? He's that guy, right? Because he got a mugshot. Again, this is fascinating stuff. It really is. Now, again, Fox News is also drunk in this Kool-Aid, and they think that because of Trump's mugshot that now black people are going to start, voting for Trump in droves as well, too.
When Trump was in town about to be processed. Watch this. Listen.
That might have been him. Oh, God. That was him right there. That was him. That was Trump right there. That was Trump that walked past. That might have been him. We don't know who he is. That might be him. It might be him.
Laura, this was like a parade going by. I mean, look, Trump got 12% of the black vote last time, which was a 4% improvement. There are polls showing he could get 18 to 20% of the black vote.
If that's the case.
If that happens, it's all over.
No, it's totally over. Now, I specifically wanted to say the mugshot itself mirrors the mood of the public because I'm sensing it across ethnicities, racial lines, and African American men. After telling them for years that the justice system is corrupt and crooked, they're looking at this, you know, in some of the videos we've seen today and featured, they're looking at some of this going, whoa, 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 whoa. Now they're targeting him. Do you see that, or am I overstating it?
No, you're absolutely right, Laura. That's what's happening. And look, Americans are pissed off. You're talking about a government, a Department of Justice that ignores the crimes of the president's son and, frankly, the president himself.
The Democrats, you can tell, are nervous because the media understands how powerful imagery is. And it's their business. And they have handed this guy a huge political gift, which will last until eternity. It's a cultural phenomenon now. He's banking off of it. And everyone's talking about it. Black Americans online, some of them are saying, I'm voting for Trump now. Because they, too, have sometimes felt they've been unfairly targeted by the criminal justice system. And you know, in this country, nationally, 1 or 2% of the black vote swinging to the Republicans, that's the election right there. So the Democrats have overplayed their hand. They've done something that no one else has ever been able to do, and that's make Trump a sympathetic character.
Yeah, so you're seeing that, you heard that, okay? A whole lot of optimism there, a whole lot of optimism as you have Fox News putting out this poll that I haven't verified because I haven't seen it on the website. I haven't seen the news clip in which this infographic came from. Maybe I'm just not doing a good job of finding it. But apparently this came out even before Trump's mugshot, showing that support among black voters for Trump apparently is at 20%. 20%, which if that translates to actual votes, then that will be a historic landslide victory for Trump. Now, in order to actually get to this number, because you got to look at 2020, they estimate between 10 to 20% of black men voted for Trump. I would probably guess on the lower end, probably closer to 10%. And then when it comes to black women, it is estimated between, 5 and 8%. I would probably guess the lower number, 5% of black women voted for Trump. Now, in order to get to 20%, you probably need about 20 to 30% of black men voting for Trump and about 10 to 20% of black women. Now, that is bare minimum what I would say is a realistic outcome for Trump to get to 20% support. Which, you know, hey, who knows? Okay, there could be black people who are now waking up, okay, after doing their research, okay? It wasn't the economy, right? It wasn't the fact that Joe Biden did not fulfill any of the promises that he made to black folks. Wasn't that not crime, right? Maybe it is the mugshot. Maybe it is the mugshot. Maybe that's what it took for people to actually wake up to what's going on in this country, okay? Being able to sympathize with Trump because there's so many black men that, you know, deal with the system, right? And seeing Trump deal with the system, maybe, just maybe, that's what needed to be done. Again, it'd be fascinating, right? Fascinating that black people weren't influenced by, again, the economy. They weren't influenced by crime. Joe Biden not fulfilling his promises. Decades of Democrat policies that have destroyed black communities. Nah, that didn't move the needle, right? Trump needed to get arrested. Trump needed to get some street cred, okay? But then again, you know, you do have some black women, like the beautiful black woman that I showed at the beginning of this video, who did her own research and decided to support Trump because he's against things that she finds to be abhorrent, like trafficking, okay, which is a big thing on the right. And after doing her research, she's decided that she is a Trump supporter. She was afraid to come out as a Trump supporter because she was afraid of losing her black card. She wouldn't be invited to the cookout. But hey, like I tell everybody who's afraid of not being invited to the cookout, I would say, well, hey, at the very least, if you don't get invited to the cookout, there's less of a chance that you might get shot, right? So again, there's pros and cons to everything in life, okay? I'm just saying. But I think that this poll, honestly, guys, is overly optimistic, okay? I don't think that Trump is actually at 20% of the black support, but who knows? Maybe he is, okay? I'm just one of these people who've been on this rodeo, okay? I've seen this hype train come where it's like, oh, black people vote for Trump, black people vote for Trump. And then when it comes time to actually vote, only 10% of black people vote for Trump, okay? They still vote Democrat at a 90% clip. And I'll tell you one thing. If black people don't get on board with, Trump or Republicans in 2024, I don't think there's any hope, okay? This is probably, in my opinion, do or die when it comes to getting black people to at least move the needle in a significant fashion, right? When it comes to our voting habits. I'm just saying I'm cautiously optimistic, but honestly, it's really hard for me to be, okay? Because I just kind of know how this works. But hey, again, according to the polls, black Americans don't like Bidenomics, okay? And inflation is deeply costing the black community. So let's read about this, okay? Because this is what some of the numbers are saying about how dissatisfied black people are with Bidenomics. Following underwhelming turnout in last year's midterms, along with recent polls throughout the summer, Washington Democrats have begun a whisper campaign urging the White House to investigate plummeting support from black Americans. A Washington Post poll this spring revealed that only 17% of blacks will be enthusiastic about President Biden's re-election. It's the economy, stupid. Well, allegedly, we'll see, okay? Because I've seen these polls, I've seen this type of stuff before 2022, before 2020, and they weren't all that accurate. But hey, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Many forget that the famous, quote, March on Washington was primarily about the need for more jobs in the black community. 60 years later, the problem persists. Well, because of, destructive Democrat policies that have destroyed these communities. It's really simple. Blacks, perhaps more so than any other group core to Biden's re-election, are dissatisfied with the nation's economy. Nevertheless, Biden has spent the last few months on an economic victory tour touting the success of Bidenomics. But despite his claims of record unemployment, increased wages, and falling inflation, a critical number of black Americans are unconvinced, as is the rest of the nation. Indeed, according to the Associated Press, overall, only 36% of U.S. adults approve of Biden's handling of the economy. Among blacks, the overall numbers are better, but Quinnipiac says 35% of blacks disapprove of Biden's economy. Many of Biden's supposed wins are just cherry-picked data points. Despite what the administration insists about lowered inflation, inflation has still outpaced wage growth for the entirety of Biden's presidency, with inflation up 15% and wages only up 12%. When it comes to the inflation rate of essentials like food, rent, and utilities, those prices are up almost 25% since Biden took office. Yeah, and that's the problem with Biden coming out here and touting Bidenomics, because objectively speaking, the American people are poor, right? They are poor since Biden took office. The result of which is the typical household spends $709 more per month than 2 years ago. Black Americans, whose wages on average are lower than the population at large, find the high energy, household basics, and rent costs a particularly heavy burden since they take up a greater share of their salaries. The signs of economic distress abound. The average age of a car on the road is now a record 12.5 years. Between tight supplies, rising prices, and increased interest rates, few Americans can bear the cost of purchasing a new car. The latest figures show that black Americans are especially hesitant as their share of the new vehicle market has declined by 8%, even as other groups rebound post-pandemic. Yeah, so again, with that being said, a lot of things in regards to the Biden economy is holding black people back, just like it's holding back the rest of the country, okay? Housing is damn near unaffordable, okay? Have you tried to buy a house lately? Okay, the prices are insane, along with insane interest rates. It makes 0 sense to buy a house, and prices aren't coming down, okay? Because nobody wants to sell their home because they know they'll have to buy another home in which they'll pay an insane price with insane interest rates, right? So again, we're stuck in this housing crisis here that I think is going to have a really, really bad ending, okay? But nothing makes sense in the economy right now, and black Americans are feeling it. Again, the question is, will that result in black people actually changing their voting habits? Didn't result in 2022, okay? Did not turn out that way because, inflation was at its worst. around the midterms, and black people still voted in droves overwhelmingly for Democrats. You also still have to worry about the young woman vote, the young single woman vote, who seem to only care about abortion, right? They don't care about crime. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about the border. They don't care about foreign policy. They don't care about anything except abortion, okay? And they just come out and vote in favor of their so-called right to abortion. So again, you know, I'm not sure if black people have that same spell over them when it comes to racism. It seems so. If you look at the data historically, it may not matter how bad Biden's economy is. Black people just may be stuck voting Democrat until this racism spell is broken, right? This idea that the Republican Party is racist and holding black people back and are bad for black people, until that spell is broken, I really don't see the voting habits change. But then again, who knows? Maybe the Trump mugshot is what we needed to break that spell over the black community. We'll see. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.